All right, that's connected.
Should we start? The light's gone bright. It's going to do it. Should we start? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma akhrijni min dhulumat al-wahm wa akrimni bi nur al-fahm. Allahumma aftah alayna bab rahmatik wa anshur alayna khaza'ina ulumik bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to take us out of the darkness of doubt and fill us with the light of understanding. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to open the doors of His mercy and unfold the treasure of His knowledge by His mercy, as He is the most merciful one. So inshallah you're all well. We managed to get started. This semester or this year we're taught to start on basic Arabic grammar, and we're going to include Qur'anic grammar into it as well. So the idea is that it will help us understand the basic rules of grammar, and when we read dua or when we read Quran, try to help us understand it without looking at translation, or when we look at the translation we also understand why we have that translation, inshallah. So I'll try my best to explain as much as I know. If there's any shortcoming, you forgive me, and you can also correct me so we can have discussion. And I'll put the notes up in the WhatsApp as well. And I will also, the best way to learn it is to practice and not just listen. So I will also give homework or practice. If you want to try to improve yourself, then you learn and you put it into practice, inshallah, and that way you will learn more. So what we looked at last week, a quick review, because we couldn't see my writing last week. So a word in Arabic is divided into one of these three. So you have noun, which is ism, you have a verb, which is fi'l, and you have a harf, which is preposition. Ism or noun is like a name. So you can have name of Allah, Rab, Rahman, Ali, Kitab, Al-Kitab. So we have these different nouns or names that we can use for. Verb is fi'l. Fi'l is action words. So when you do something like reading, writing, and in here we have like worshipping. So he worshipped and he is worshipping. So abada is he's worshipping, and ya'budu, he worshipped and he's worshipping. So we looked at past, present, and also amr. So here we have katabta. So that's referring to one person male, because that ta here at the end is for one person male. So we talked in Arabic that there are different pronouns. Anybody remembers how many pronouns we discussed? 14, correct, very good. So we have 14. We have 3 pronouns for males in terms of plural. We have 3 pronouns for male in singulars, and we have 3 for female in plural, 3 for female in singulars, and then we have ana and nahnu. So in total we have 14 pronouns in Arabic. Whereas in English we have like he, she, is, he, she, you, they. Yeah, so we have 4 in English, but in Arabic we have 14. So if you want to talk to one person, use one pronoun. If you want to talk to 2 people, use a different pronoun. If you want to talk to a group of people, you use a different pronoun. And likewise, if you're talking to male audience, you use a different pronoun. And if you're talking to a female audience, you use a different pronoun. So there's 14 of them, but we will come back to that in more details, inshallah. So that was just an overview. And we said that there's past form, so what has happened, there's present form, and there is a future amr, a command that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us. And then we have harf preposition. It's like ila, an, fi, so to, about, or in. So those things do not have any meaning. Like in English we have is. If you say is, or if you just say the, or if you say a, on its own it has no meaning. It has to come with something for it to have a meaning. Yeah. And we looked at ism. I mentioned last week a little bit the difference between these two. So you have kitab and you have al-kitab. When you have kitab, which is a book, so that's a book can refer to any book. It's not specific. And then when you say al-kitab, then that's equivalent in English to the book. So you're talking about a specific thing. This is what we discussed last week in general. So we talked about this. So indefinite, nakara, a book, so kitab. And then if you want to make it definite, you want to talk a specific book that you're talking about. If you put alif lam in front of the same word, it becomes definite, which is a specific thing that you're talking about. Yeah. So if you say kursi, it can be any kursi, any chair. But if you say al-kursi, then you're talking about that particular chair that you're referring to. Is that clear?
Yeah.
I will go through this one in detail again because that's our topic for today. This is the one that I mentioned in terms of the pronouns. So we have Madi, Mudare and Amr, past, present and command. So past, what has happened. Present is what is happening now and what will continue to happen. And Amr is a command when you tell an action, tell someone to do something. For example, you eat, you write, you walk. So those are the action words. And these are the 14 pronouns. So this one, we did an overview last time. And today is just another overview. But we have to go through this in detail for us to learn it and to conjugate words. So if I give you a word, you should be able to then conjugate with all of those 14, inshallah, in our future lessons. So we have those three. So in the finger rule, this is, they're put in groups. So you can see here, masculine, singular, dual, and plural. And then in the second hand, in here you can see feminine, singular, dual, and plural. And then you have masculine for when you're talking to someone who is present. So singular, dual, and plural. And feminine, singular, dual, and plural. And I and V, singular and plural. So you have that on your hand. This is a good way to learn it, the 14 pronouns in that order. If you practice that way, it becomes very easier. So I tried different techniques, and this is one which worked for me to learn.
I speak Arabic, but this come here. Why this come here now? Speaking this Antuma. Antuma in Arabic is not abbreviated Arabic. It's not this was this Antuma. Antum. This Antuma Antum. Antum not this. This will come up easy.
Yes. This is in terms of Arabic grammar, not in terms of Arabic dialect.
I know, but
yeah. So these exist in Arabic. It's not something out of Arabic. These exist. So I'm giving overview, but we will do short ones, and we will use the only ones which are more common. Yeah. So if it's not common, some of them, as brother is mentioning, so those ones he's saying that in Arabic, these ones are not used much. Yes.
This اختصار. This come here and different. This come here. What understand?
Yes.
This here and اختصار. Understand اختصار? And what this here? 2, 3. In Arabic, antum. Not speak Arabic. Okay, antuma. Antuma.
Yes.
Antum. This come here. What this زيادة إضافة.
No, but
this and فصحى.
Correct.
Okay. Antum, antuma. But then speaking Arabic, antum.
No, we're not learning Arabic in terms of language. We're not learning as a dialect. This is Fusha Arabic. Yeah. So what I am going through is what I learned in Hausa, and Hausa was Fusha Arabic. Yeah. So I'm going through that. All of this I don't know how to apply. Yeah. The ones that I know, I will share. Yeah. And then hopefully we can learn something from it. So we have to know a general overview. If I cut it out, yeah, and if you ask somebody how many pronouns are in Arabic, then they will say how many I tell them. If I tell them 10, they'll just take that 10. And if they go to Arabic teacher and they'll say, no, you're wrong, there's 14. Yeah. So if they know it, but then they learn from you and other people who speak Arabic, they know these ones are not used. Yeah. Like for example, in Arabic, in Fusha you say kaifa halak. But in Iraq, I think they say shlonak. Yeah. So there's different. If you say to someone shlonak, if they're learning Arabic, it doesn't come up. So it's very different. Yeah. So that's why when we want to learn a language, you have to look which way you're learning from. So we're either learning from the grammar way, or you're learning in terms of dialect. If you speak like Iraqi Arabic and Lebanese Arabic is very different dialect, and words are different as well. But inshallah, we'll make it mukhtasar. Inshallah. Any questions?
You know when you were describing verb forms, you didn't talk about a future verb.
Yes.
Why is that?
So in Arabic, we have past words and we have mudari words. Mudari are words of action which represent the action that you're doing now and you will continue to do. So it has two definitions for it. So words, for example, you say, I'll be working tomorrow. Like working, anything with ing in English compared to English, I'll be eating, I'll be walking, I'll be going. So all of these come in the mudari form. So you might be doing that now. I'm walking now. I'll be walking tomorrow.
That is
Yeah, so all of that
auxiliary
comes in that
verb.
form.
Is there any
Sorry?
auxiliary word that we can use with the present form of the word to relate to future?
Yes, so you have the same word.
Yeah.
In Arabic, the words are a 3-letter word or 4-letter word, and then they get added on. The extra letters are added on.
Just before the word.
So yes, so the root letters are normally in 3 or 4-letter words, and then you add extra on. There's rules on what you add on. You make it mudare word. There's rules on what you take off from there to make it amr words, and so on. And also, like sometimes with this pronoun, so if you're talking about one person, you use the same root letter word, but then you add something on it to talk about 2 people or 3 people or more. Clear? We will look into that inshallah later on, but we need to start with the nouns first because that's the first topic and easier to understand hopefully. So nouns can be one of these 3. It can be a state, gender, or a number. We discussed this one last time. So the state refers to being marifa or nakara, so specific or non-specific. Yeah. All nouns in Arabic by default are indefinite, so they are nakara. Yeah. So they have the with it. For example, rajul, which means a man. So you say a man, rasul, a messenger, and qarya, a town. Yeah. So all the Arabic words start off with like this. They start off with the indefinite, which is nakara. So you read it as with a compared to English. So rajul, a man, rasul, a messenger, and qarya, a town. Yeah. Example in the Holy Quran, an awhayna ila rajulin minhum. So here this rajul is nakara, is indefinite. So in the translation we can say a man who is one of them. And you will notice here, this is known as a tanween. When you have a double dhamma, kasra or fatha, this is known in the language as tanween. If a word has tanween, that word cannot be definite. That word is always indefinite. So this word in here is indefinite. Yeah. So if you see that sign, remember we said if you see the sign of al, alif, lam, that word is definitely a definite word. But if you see a tanween, that word can never be definite. That's always indefinite. So if you see like this, you cannot translate this the man who is one of them. It should be translated as a man who is one of them. That is the difference that we are learning here. وَمَا مُحَمَّدٌ إِلَّا رَسُولٌ. So, and Muhammad is no more than a messenger. So Rasul here is again indefinite or nakara. And the last one, أو كالذي مر على قرية وهي خاوية. So قرية here, or like him to pass by a town collapse. So you can see those 3 tanween signs on there, which also indicates that these 3 words are indefinite. They are nakara. So if you translate, if you have any words like this, you want to translate, you translate it as a and not the.
So if we have to make it definite,
yes.
so what changes do we have to do?
So if you want to make it definite, there's 3 rules to do. It depends what you have. For these ones, it's very easy. All you have to do, put alif lam in front of each one of them. So it'll be ar-rajul, ar-rasul, and al-qarya.
That would be dama and messenger.
Correct.
And
So you just put alif lam in front, and then that will become the definite. Any questions? Yeah, so this is so that was indefinite. All the words are indefinite generally to start off with, but if you want to make it definite, you have to follow one of these 3 rules. It has to be one of these 3 conditions. So if it's a proper noun, name of people, name of prophet, or name of places, then that's always a definite. So anybody's name, prophet's name, our name is a definite, like Isa or Yusuf from Holy Quran. Yeah. So these names are definite, so you don't have to go anything. In this ayah, Inna Allaha qad ba'atha lakum Talut Malikan. Anybody can tell me which one is the noun in there?
God, Allah. Allah is noun.
Allah is noun and
الله قد بعث لكم طالوت ملكا.
Talut. Yeah. So Talut is the noun in here, yeah, which is the name of a tribe. This one, قالوا لئن لم تنتهي يا نوح لتكونن من المرجومين. Yeah. In this one, the Nuh is the noun. So a name, any name that you find, is a noun. It is a proper noun. Any questions on the proper noun? So any name is definite. Yeah. This one adding al. So I mentioned that as brother already asked ahead. So Rasul, a messenger. Al Rasul, the messenger. Yeah. So if you want to make anything definite, you put alif lam in front of it. It will become definite. So if you're talking a specific prophet, then you just put Ar Rasul. Rasul, a messenger. Al Rasul, the messenger. Example from the Holy Quran: وَمَا آتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ. And accept what the messenger gives you. Yeah. So it's not accept what a messenger gives you. This is why we understand. So if you understand that difference, what Alif Lam is making there, then in translation it will help you understand what it is.
Is talking about a specific prophet, which is Prophet Muhammad.
Correct. In this context, it's talking about Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And this one, وَاسْأَلُهُمْ عَنِ الْقَرْيَةِ الَّتِي كَانَتْ حَاضِرَةَ الْبَحْرِ. So again here, Al-Qaryati, ask them about the town by the sea. And anybody notices what happened here?
No.
Yeah, it's gone singular. So before it was double, yeah, it was Qaryatin, it was 2 lines, and now there's only 1 kasra. So it's kasra, before it was tanween kasra, 2 lines, and now there's only 1 line. So if it becomes ma'rifah, then you cannot use tanween. If you have alif lam, you cannot have tanween with it. It cannot go together. Yeah, because alif lam is definite and tanween is indefinite. So ma'rifah is definite and nakara is indefinite. And what is the difference here? So we say ar-rasul and we say al-qarya.
It means a specific messenger, the messenger, and their town.
So both of them is the messenger and the town.
Yes.
But one of them we read as ar-rasul and the other one we read as al-qarya. So one of them we're reading the lam and one of them we are not reading the lam. So we say ar-rasul, ar-rasul. The R has a shadda, and the other one we're reading as al-qarya, the lam. That is because in Arabic the letters are divided into 2 groups. You know, you have huruf al-shamsiyah and huruf al-qamariyah. These are the letters. Yeah, these are the letters that we have to memorize and learn. So then when we come across a word in the Holy Quran, it's quite easy because you have all the Arab there and you can just connect. If you learn the Tajweed rules, you can just connect them. But if you don't know them, you have to know that this difference. So Shamsiyah letters and Qamari letters. In Shamsiyah letters, they are known as assimilating, which means that the lam becomes silent and you join the alif to the next letter with shadda on it. So here all of these lams are silent. So you would read this as ar-rasul, as-sama, and ash-shams. So that you don't read the lam. So the lams have become silent in all of them. So ar-rasul, as-sama, and ash-shams. And what will happen in this one? Huruf al-qamariyah? Yeah, so you will read it. So these are known as unassimilating. So you have al-qamar, al-qarya, and al-baqarah. So you don't go al-qamar or al-qarya. So you don't read it like that. So you read it as al-qamar, al-qarya, al-baqarah. So if you take any of these words, you have to join it with al. For example, al-bahar. Yeah. And maybe any other Arabic words that you can think of. Is that clear?
Yes.
So this one you have to look at the words, you have to memorize this, and then when you come across the words, you will know whether to read it with the lam or without the lam. And the last part where the noun is definite, so where it is marifah, is this one. If you have indefinite noun, plus a definite noun, then you take both of them as definite. Yeah, so we know what is indefinite, where we have a, and we know definite is where we have the. So if you put two of such words together, then you just take it as a definite word, as a ma'rifah that you know. For example, Rasulullahi, you don't read it as a messenger of Allah. So Rasul here is nakara or indefinite, and Allah is ma'rifah or definite. So here we read this as the messenger of Allah, not a messenger of Allah. This is known as mudaful ilay in the Arabic grammar. So if Rasul here, as we mentioned in the first one, the Rasul, our messenger, is indefinite. Yeah, and Allah here is definite. So when you're putting those two together, because they become related, that's what mudaf ilay means. They become related. Now both of them have the upper, whatever has the upper hand, it takes that rule. So definite has the upper hand, so it becomes, both of them become definite. And it becomes Rasulullah, he. Any questions? Yeah. So simple. وَأَلَمُوا أَنَّ فِيكُمْ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ. So that's example for that one. And know that among you is the messenger of Allah. قَالَ أَبُوهُمْ إِنِّي لَا أَجِدُ رِيحَ يُوسُفَ. So here, ri is smell. So this is indefinite or nakara. And Yusuf is a name, so that is definite. Ma'rifah, when these two becomes together, then it's translated as the smell of Yusuf, not a smell of Yusuf. That is the difference that we have understood, inshallah. Yeah, so this is the overview that we focused on. So a word can be an ism, and ism has these three categories. We have ma'rifah and nakara. Indefinite, all the words by default is nakara, so it is translated as a in English. And if you want to make it definite using the in the translation, then it has to be one of these three. It either has to be a name, yeah, so all the names are ma'rifah. You either add as al, alif lam, or you put two words together to make it a constructive noun. And that is the end of the session. Any questions? I will put this in the WhatsApp group, inshallah, and I'll put homework as well. This is the homework for you to practice. So I'll put the notes for you, so you can read the notes again and then give it a try, finding those definite and indefinite words from the surah. If you understand the rules, hopefully it'll be very easy, and if you don't, we'll see. We'll try it out, see how it goes, inshallah, for 3-4 weeks. If it becomes too difficult, then we will change the topic, inshallah. Yeah, but if you learn it, if you practice it, inshallah, it will be very good for all of us. Because we read Quran, we read namaz, you know, we read dua, so we need to try and understand it ourselves a little bit. It will help if you understand some of these. You know, these are the basics. Once you understand this, it will help with the other stages as well, when you put them together in a sentence. Yeah, so if you see a sentence, you know, then you will understand from that sentence, okay, this one is noun, this one is verb, and then what is the root of this? Okay, now how, if I put it together, what could it mean? And then you will be able to understand it by reading that instead of looking at the translation, which we can do as well, but it will help us to correct our understanding, inshallah. And the citation, as much as we can, we have to try. Any questions? Let's finish with the last salawat. Allah